Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Milma here with another Xcode tutorial. Sorry I haven't been making tutorials for the past 2 weeks because I've been on holiday. So yeah, it was quite fun, and now I'm back to make more videos. So in this video I will be telling you how to upload an app to the App Store using Xcode 4, because I did a video on Xcode 3, which personally I don't think that was that good, telling you how to upload an app, but now it's completely different, and it can all be done from Xcode. So without further ado, let's get going. I have made this video before, but for some reason it kept crashing and I don't know why. So to start with, you're going to need to go to itunesconnect.com. So I'll just load that up on the internet browser and I'll be straight back to you. Alright guys, I'm back and I'm at iTunes Connect, logged in on my account. First of all, you're going to see this screen here. I've cropped a bit of it out because it contains like personal information and stuff. But you'll see more or less this bit here. Make sure you just click on Manage Applications and it'll take you to, when it's loaded, this screen here. Now, these are my apps here. iChuck 1.2 I've just released and it's free for April, so that's like today and tomorrow, so make sure you get that because it's free for Easter, because I've included some Easter stuff in there. Anyway, enough about that. You should get this view here. If you have no apps already, you'll get something similar to this, and there should be something that says add a new app or something like that. For me, my add new app's up here. It might be for you as well if you haven't got any apps. I don't know, I can't really remember. So select that and you'll get this screen here. Now, app name is obviously your app name. So I'm not going to be creating an app, but for test purposes I'm putting test in. SKU number is like a special number that is only assigned to your app. So if you select this question mark here, it's basically, it says here, a unique number used to identify the app you're adding. So, you know, you can have your initials, so my initials, and then a load of random numbers, and there you go, and that's my SKU number. Now make sure you keep a note of this and note of which app it's assigned to, because Apple might ask you for it later. Bundle ID, you should already have one. It has to do with contracts and stuff, so if you select that there, then it asks for your bundle ID suffix. So that's got to be the one that you use in your actual app, and if you select here, it says it has to match the one in your info.plist, which I'll talk about later. Obviously, like I said, I'm not making an app, so I won't complete this, I won't click continue, but I'll explain the bundle ID suffix later, but it's to do with the app, it's to do with the actual one in your app. So if I type failcake, it now says failcake down here, but it has to match the one in the app you're uploading, otherwise it won't work. And as I said, I'll explain all this later. When you click continue, it will ask you to do all sorts of stuff like descriptions for the app, prices for the app, screenshots for the app, and it's pretty much just follow what they tell you to do. And I can't really tell you how to do it because it's your description, it's your keywords, it's your name, so you know there's not much more point in me doing it, but you must complete this before you upload an app, otherwise you won't be able to upload one, and you'll see why later. So I'll just load Xcode now with one of our apps that we've been working on to upload to the App Store, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see I've loaded WebView here, the one that we've been working on, websites and stuff, and how to use web views, UI web views. You can go check that on my channel if you want to. So make sure you bundle all your folders together by pressing the arrow up here, select the blue thing here, go down to targets, it must be on targets, and as you can see here it has my identifier. So that's what the bundle ID is talking about. If I just go down here and go into the plist, you can see the bundle identifier is com.failcake.webview. So I've just gone com.mycompanyname dot the actual app name, so that's WebView, which is the app name, and that must match the one that you put in the web online forum now. So make sure those two match. So again, if you close all this up, select that and then select target. Make sure your version is the same. If you're updating, it's the same process, but make sure you put 1.1, or make sure you change whatever this says. Otherwise it will all go funny, it will reject your app because you haven't said 1.1 as an update. Make sure you select the device you want. Make sure you select the deployment target. So it's 4.3 because that's the latest one. You know, all this, make sure you have the screenshots, the app icons, all sorts of stuff like that. And also if you go to build settings, you need to make sure that you've assigned your contracts, because if you don't set your contracts correctly to the ones you've asked from Apple, then they won't accept your app, or you'll get errors before you even upload it. So there's the release, the distribution, and the debug. Make sure you have all of them set to your contracts. You can just click on it, it'll bring down a drop down menu. I'm not going to do that because it contains personal information and blah blah blah. So make sure you set all that. Last but not least, make sure you have an iPod or an iPhone actually plugged in to your computer, because as you can see it says James's iPod there, which is my iPod. Otherwise it won't be able to compile it for an iPod or an iPhone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a registered one to Apple, it just has to be one so it can actually compile it properly for an iPod or an iPhone. So if you can't find your contracts, or you don't know what the contracts are, you will have an app on your computer called Keychain Access. So I've got it open here, it's just keychainaccess.app, search that in Finder, you'll find it here. And yeah, that tells you all your contracts so you can work out which one's which. So without further ado, we'll just select the blue thing again, go to Product and select Archive. And it will start archiving it, and I'll be back when I'm done. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see it's archived and the organizer window popped up straight away, and now we're on this tab which I didn't explain when I explained how to use Xcode 4, called Archives. As you can see down here I've got my iChuck archives here, and now I've got my new WebView archives. It's got my, it's got my version unspecified because it hasn't been uploaded yet, and the identifier there, and it tells me which one I've created it and stuff like that. So there's 3 options here. First, you must validate it with Apple, and secondly, you must submit it. Now, these are 2 very simple processes. You select validate, you sign in with your Apple password and username, then you select the app you want to update it for because you made it on the website with the same bundle identifier. Select it, it will start validating. If it's allowed, it will say yes. Once that's done, you go to submit. Exactly the same process, but instead it actually submits it to the App Store, and then it will be in review with some Apple person wherever they have their offices or whatever, and they'll review it, and if it's allowed, it will be sent off to the App Store. So that's pretty simple, guys. I haven't actually made an app, which is why I'm not clicking these 2 things, because it will just go error, you haven't made one. So yeah, again, make sure you have your contract selected, because when you select validate and submit, it will ask you to select your contract. So make sure you have them valid, so not out of date, and make sure you actually have them for distribution. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, just post them in the comments or send me a message. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and see you in my next videos.